once again, out on the highways and the byways. You know, want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. You know what I mean? Once again, man, we out on these highways, soldiering on in this work and this truth. You know, when we say it, brothers, man, things are happening all the time. I don't really need to keep on saying that. You know, but we're getting close to the end, so to speak. And we're about to witness a breakthrough of a new beginning, you know, of our society, man, which is the kingdom of heaven to come, which is going to start with Yahweh Shai. You know, so all I gotta say, brothers, man, is you stay firm, stay faithful in this thing, man, and don't let nothing get you down, brothers, man. So with that, I'm cutting it there, you know. But much love, brothers out there, man, and double honor to the head apostles too, you know. Definitely double honor to the head apostles out there that taught us this truth, you know. That's it on that though. Shalom. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Come out here week after week to prophesy the downfall or the up-and-coming calamities of the society. All right? And to let the so-called black man and the so-called Latino man and so-called Native American man know that they're the Israelites, according to this Bible. And we out here to prophesy the second coming of whom the world calls Jesus Christ too. All right? Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right, we ain't no Muslims, we ain't no Christians, we are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a scripture. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Okay? And the end of the civilization, you know, as we're in today, is speaking, man. How is it speaking? Like I always come out here and say the same sort of thing, week after week. You know what I mean? In this day and time, what do we have? You know what I mean? We have protesting going on. You know what I mean? In some countries you have rioting. Like down in Venezuela, you know what I mean? You have people that are going through actual famines down in Venezuela. You know, they're going into these major stores to get food, but these major stores in Venezuela has no food for the people. And that's what you got going on, and you have other things going on like that as well. So I'm going to continue to read on, and it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and it will not tarry. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And the year that we're in right now, we're in 2016, where things are picking up. You know, we're not living in the 80s. We're not living in the 70s or the 60s. Where the end was sort of far away. We're living in a time where the end is right around the corner, and it's speaking, man. All right, you have what do you have also? You have strange things going on in the heavens. Okay, you have microwaves. What do you have also? What else do you have nowadays, man? Like I said, you have micro moons and all that, and then some. You have blood moons. And other strange activities going on above the skies that we don't see. And we also have strange activities going down on here on earth. So these things are here to show us, those that are aware and looking at certain things, to let us know what time we're living in. As Habakkuk the prophet said, okay, the end shall speak and it shall not lie. And we're seeing the end of it coming forth. And another thing, and how you know it's the end time, because you got crazy guys like myself, which I don't mind being called crazy, okay, springing out here with the garments up, with the robes. You know what I mean? You got so-called niggas like myself, Hispanics, so-called, as well as Israelites. That's exactly who we are. And we raising up, and we letting you people know the deal, man. You see, that's what we doing, man. You know, we're the servants and we're the prophets of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. That's exactly who we are. We're them ancient apostles, prophets coming back to warn you people of the destruction to come. Okay? Let's go. So what's your nationality? You're Irish. You're a brother, man. I knew you was one of us, man. Because the thing about it is, my man, this is on the black
last 2,000 years and still be so popular.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. But the thing about it is that, you know, this Bible is speaking truth to power. You know, everything that's coming out, you know, is this Bible is mentioning. Like you have the riots, you have the protesting going on, and the ongoing race wars going on in America. Hey, this spoke about it. You know what I mean? And another thing that we're here to do is to warn our people and to repent back to the Lord. That's what we're also here to do too, you know? God bless you. Oh man, take care, man.
Respect.
Respect, man. You know, but yeah, like I said before, we're gonna read it again. We're gonna read Habakkuk 2, verse 3, and it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie." So we're gonna go to Luke. What is it? Luke, the 21st chapter. And we're going to see how the end is speaking, man. All right? We're going to get Luke 21, verse, 25. And it says, "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, as it is yet this day." We're seeing the distress of nations and other people around the world. Now you have a major incident going down in Venezuela. You have large amounts of people heading first into the stores, trying to gather up food because there's no food in the stores. And what's going on in Venezuela is going to happen over here too. Okay? Because this economy is unified. This economy works together. The economy is connected together, so to speak. So anything that happens with a certain economy or a powerful economy, and that declines, then everything's gonna fall as it may. The cards are gonna fall as it may. All right. Just like how you have the situation over here in Britain, how Britain wants to exit the EU, which that ain't really gonna happen because that's not what the Rothschilds want. The Rothschilds don't want Britain to move out of the EU. But the point being is things are shaking up in the system now. You know, this society ain't gonna go on for another 24 years. Okay, things are gonna get worse, and it's gonna dwindle down from there. And this is why guys like myself are out here, because we are those servants, the prophets coming back, Lord willing. You know, we're not out here for no reason. We're out here for a reason. We're out here to warn you of what's to come. That's what the Lord always does. When an empire, when the Lord destroys a kingdom or an empire, He sets prophets up to warn the people. And then once the prophets have done their job, then the Lord brings the throw down. In other words, the judgment, so that you understand what I'm saying. So let's keep reading. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 4. "Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." That's right. It says that the soul which is lifted up in him is not right in him. And that's talking about these Edomites. These high-ranking spankers, man. Starting up into these regular Edomites. Which the people of Esau, Edom, are the so-called Europeans. So it says that, check this out, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." Okay, because you have these wicked elites that are not upright in the spirit, man. And they messing up the whole system. They messing up people's minds, man. Okay? These wicked elites of Esau and Edom, they messing up people's minds. And I'm talking about you people out here. But it says at the end thereof, the just shall live by faith. Who is the just? The just represents the 12 sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Start with the elect on down. You know, what a just, man. Alright? Starting with the elect, we are the just. Because you got the majority of our people. They supposed to be the just too. But they still carrying on with their madness, man. Their wickedness. Alright, so let's keep going. And it says, Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, and he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. That's right. Because you got those, what do you have out there? You have U.S. soldiers all over the place. You have U.S. You have U.S. basements, right, or base areas in these different areas, in these different countries. All right, so they transgress by wine, and they don't stay at home. They always got to be in a different country's business, man. Because what they're gonna have to do is they have to spread their military might, right? Because they're afraid that these other nations are gonna rise up against them. So let's read that again, because I lost my train of thought. Then it says, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell. That's right. And as is death, and cannot be satisfied. So like I'm saying before, you have these U.S. soldiers, because the reason why I'm dealing with America is the Bible likens America, which is the code name, as Babylon the Great. Okay, you had ancient Babylon, which is, I believe, 2,700 years ago. But you have another Babylon, which is another system, another empire, which is America, okay, which according to the Bible is going to be destroyed. How is it going to be destroyed? Because you're going to have all of these major superpower nations. They're going to go in this Third World War, and they're going to go against America and its allies. And then later on in the midst of the war, what you're going to have is the allies of America are going to turn against America. Okay? So we're going to keep reading. It says, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine. In other words, the philosophies, the false ideologies that the American system promotes throughout the whole earth. Okay? Because wine is likened unto philosophy, according to this Bible here. It's all metaphorical talk. Okay? So it says, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home. And that's what, and I want to throw all the way back to my point that I was making before. Because you have a lot of American air bases in different countries, such as Syria, Baghdad, Afghanistan. All right, even in the Eastern European countries, the Baltic countries, you have U.S. bases over there. So he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, and he will to himself to all nations, desiring as hell. Okay, so we're gonna read this again. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Who enlargeth his desires hell, and as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. That's right, and that's what this new world order is all about. Heaping unto him all people. Just like when you read about Genesis 11, when you read about the Tower of Babel in Genesis 11, okay, it speaks about how I believe it was Nimrod. I believe it was. He tried to muster up all nations and all people to build this Tower of Babel, to establish himself, to confirm that, you know, world people of one, world people united, so to speak. So that concept of the New World Order goes all the way back thousands of years ago, and it never worked. It goes back to the Greeks, because that's what the ancient Greeks try to do. But that never worked. That plummeted down. So you have this New World Order system, which is nothing but an ancient philosophy or an ancient idea to bring forth all people together. But the Lord ain't gonna deal with that. The Lord ain't with that. Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh ain't with that. Alright, so we're gonna keep reading. This is Habakkuk 2. And we're gonna read verse 5, right? And I'm gonna start from here. It says, but gather unto all people, Salakia, unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. That's right. Because you got those Edomites in America, which beginning with the British, which set up the 13 colonies, I believe going all the way back to, I believe, the 17th century, okay, which is the people of Esau and Edom. You know, these other nations, they're gonna realize, man, that these Edomites have set up a house and built a house that was not this. Because when you go prior to the 1500s, the native Indians was already in the land. Those so-called indigenous people, those indigenous people was already in the land. Okay? So we're going to keep reading. So it says, "Shall not all these take up a proverb against him, and a taught him proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long unto him that ladeth himself with thick clay?" In other words, when you look at that word thick clay, the Hebrew word there's abatya, which means debt. How prophetical is that? Because this society is in an astronomical amount of debt. So the Hebrew word there, from the Hebrew word there with thick clay is abatya, the Hebrew word abatya, which means debt. And America is in astronomical debt. Now the debt clock may say that it's in 18 trillion and something dollars in debt, but it's probably way more than that. So that's how you know that this is talking about this revival Roman Empire. Okay? And that's what we out here to do. We out here to prophesy of the system falling apart, because that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to get Jeremiah 28 and 8. We're going to get the book of Jeremiah 28, verse 8, and it reads, "The prophets that have been before me of old," Salakia, "the prophets that have been before me, before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evils and of pestilence." And that's what the ancient prophets always did. The prophets that were set up by God himself, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh. Okay? They didn't prophesy the niceness of the civilization in their time. No, I'm all right. They didn't prophesy about, you know what I mean, the good things or whatever. They didn't speak, let me correct myself. They didn't speak nice things concerning the empire that they was in. They spoke against it. Okay? And that's what we're doing right now. And the reason why the ancient prophets spoke against these civilizations that they were in is because those empires were not of the Heavenly Father. They was of Satan. Okay? And the word Satan just means adverse, or the adversary. Something that's adverse towards the Heavenly Father. That's what Satanism is, man. And that's what this society is as well. Okay, the things that this society promotes and projects to all of the people as you're watching the television is against the Heavenly Father. It is against the Heavenly Father. And when you speak up against these things, you're considered the bad guy. You're speaking up against the wickedness and the madness that goes on. You see? But I understand something though. I understand what the Lord is doing. What the Lord is doing is the Lord is letting these devils basically keep raising up their sins, bringing forth the multitude of the sins, so that eventually at the end the Lord can really just bring that overthrowing, overshadowing destruction, man. That's why the Lord is setting that thing up. That's why the Lord has this man doing what he's doing, man. But eventually the Lord is going to overthrow this kingdom. And it's going to be something like you've never seen before. And I'm talking about who the world calls Jesus Christ. Because a lot of you got it all twisted, man. A lot of you think that the Heavenly Father, he's going to come down and send a lot of ISIS. And he's going to come to bring people together. And it's going to be peaceful. But that's not going to be the case. But I'll say this though, the Lord will bring peace. Who the world calls Jesus Christ, he will bring peace. However, he's going to come and bring his judgment. Alright? He's going to come and judge the planet, man. And he's going to judge the same people that put his same people into captivity and pierce them too. And once he's done that, then peace is going to be established on earth. But justice has to be served. There's been a lot of badness going on out here, man, for so long. Now it's the time for the Lord to bring forth his justice on the planet. Right? And this is why we out here, man. We out here to prophesy the upcoming calamities of the system, You know, we out here to prophesy also the day of the Lord, which the day of the Lord is on a nice day. All right, so let me just keep on reading, talking a little bit too much. So we go read Habakkuk 2 and 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and the way that shall vex thee? And thou shalt be for booties unto them. In other words, you're going to be for spoils. All right, so it says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, and that's what America has done through many years, starting with the Vietnam War. Okay, and then also dropping a bomb on Hiroshima in 48, I believe it is. They dropped that atomic bomb. So America has spoiled many nations. All of these nations, man, they're gonna come against her, man. They're gonna come against the daughter of Babylon. All to be destroyed according to this Bible here. Thus said the Heavenly Father. All right, so we're gonna keep reading. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, and of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So we're gonna get Numbers 33 now. We're gonna get the law now. Because this Bible was made out of laws, historical events, okay, and prophecies. So that's what this Bible is all about. It's all about true prophecies, laws, and historical documentation. So we're going to get Numbers. Now we're going to go into the law now. We're going to get Numbers 34? Numbers 35, verse 33. And it reads, this is Numbers 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood hath defiled the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. That's right. You see, so in order for these lands to be cleansed, all right, the same man that shed the blood in the land, his blood got to be shed. And that's what's going to come about in these last days. That's why you're going to have this third world war brewing up. Okay? Because the Lord is going to sanction this third world war to happen. And other things are going to occur dealing with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. We're going to read chapter 2, verse 8. And it says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and all of them that dwell therein. So let's read that again. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. And that's right. All of these other nations that America has destroyed, okay, and destabilized gigantically, those same nations are going to come through and bring forth their destruction on America. All right? And that's why you have because going over, let's go all the way back to the 20th century. Let's go back to Hiroshima. All right, which I believe it was Japan. Japan remembers that. Okay, Japan remembers that. Remembers the thing that happened in Hiroshima, which was, I believe it was 68 years ago, to be exact, 68 years ago. Okay, so all of these other nations, they remember the madness that America was doing. And these same old nations, they go rise up against America for the madness that it was doing. It's only right. Okay? So we're going to keep reading, and this is why America has been placing sanctions on Iran, has been placing sanctions on Russia, and all that, and then some. But those sanctions are not going to stop the prophecies of the Lord. Those sanctions are not going to stop the Third World War from happening. All right, so let's keep going. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 9. It says, woe to him that coveteth and evil covetousness, to his house, that he may set his nest on the high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. That's America, man. That's Babylon the Great. That's the people of Esau and Edom that run America, that run this revival road in their heart. They've consulted shame unto themselves by cutting off many people, by destroying nations and stuff like that, stealing nations' goods and resources. Okay? So let's keep reading it. It says, we're going to get Habakkuk 2 verse 9 now. It says, woe to him that coveteth and evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer. Woe to him that buildeth a town of blood, and established a city by iniquity. And that's what America was established by. Okay? And also this man too. Alright? It says, woe to, let's read that again. I don't want to roughly paraphrase it. It says, woe to him that buildeth a town of blood. And America was built with blood. Let's go all the way back to the 15th century. Now I know people always say, well, that happened in the past and all that stuff. You're going to let that stuff go and all that, you know? That's what most people will say, but at the end of the day, there's a thing called karma, man. There's a thing called karma. You know, and you could do something, let's say you've done something 50 years ago, you might have thought you've gotten away with it, but there comes a time where the spirit of the earth will revive that karma on you. Okay? So you might have thought you escaped the ill deeds that you've done 10 or 20 years ago, but there comes a time where that karma comes right back on your house. That's just how nature works. That's the spiritual of how nature works. If you put something out, whether it be good or bad, you're going to receive it back. Let's get that in Colossians. Because you got a lot of people out here, man, they want to do away, especially these Edomites, they want to do away with the little things that they've done. And they want to put that aside, but the Lord ain't going to have to. The Lord ain't going to forget that, man. Matter of fact, better yet, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get Ecclesiastes. Since I'm speaking about that, let's get Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. So it says, we're going to get Ecclesiastes, I believe it's 3. Ecclesiastes 3. Let's see what I can get from here. There we go. This Ecclesiastes 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be have already been. That's that reincarnation. Okay? Which the word reincarnation means back in the flesh. The word re means back. Incarnation or carne means flesh. Alright? But that's not the point. The point is this. It reads, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be have already been. And this is the point. And the Most High, God, requires that which is past. You know, so you got a lot of people that will say, well, you got to ignore what happened in the past, whatever. But the Lord requires that which is past. The Heavenly Father, the creator of the heavens and the earth, requires the things that was done in the past. So we really can't really forget about the past. Technically. I mean, yeah, life goes on and all that stuff, but guess what? The Heavenly Father has the records on what a particular nation such as Esau and Edom has done upon the earth. Okay? Them records are there, man. So, you know, even I myself, you know, I can ignore what I've done in the past or whatever, but if I repent from it, then I'll be all right. But you know, though, speaking of repentance, there's only a nation that can receive repentance, though. And that's the nation of Israel, whether you like it or not. That consists of the so-called Negroes, Latinos on down to the Native American Indians. Those are the only nations that can receive the repentance and forgiveness of sins. But the thing about it is man, you know, you Edomites, and I'm talking about the so-called Europeans, which are the biblical Edomites, or the people that go back to Esau. When you read Genesis, the 25th chapter, okay, your sins, man, have been stored up. Your sins have been heaped up. All of the evil deeds of you done as a nation have been heaped up and stored. And as we can get it in the the Bible dictionary, it tells you that Esau is a nation that received judgment, that received great future judgment, roughly paraphrasing. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to get real. It's going to get real out there, man. Especially for the nation of Esau, it's going to get real for them. So let's get Ecclesiastes. Let's read it again. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. And the Most High God required that which is past. All of the ill deeds that was done in the past, the Most High requires it. Alright? So that's it on that. So I want to go all the way back to Habakkuk, the second chapter. Habakkuk 2, verse 10, it says, thou hast consulted shame to thy people. Salakia, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many nations. Salakia, many people, and has sinned against thy soul. That's right. That's what Esau has done. Esau has sinned against his soul. And like I said, the people of Esau are the so-called Europeans. We're scholars of this, so we know who the nations are, according to the Bible. They have sinned against their soul, man. You know, ain't nobody told them to go kill people and stuff like that. Ain't nobody told them to go and slay people like that, you know. But they did it to themselves, man. And that's why the Heavenly Father is going to bring the judgment down in these cities. Wherever Esau goes at, that's where the judgment's going to lay low at, man. Alright? So let's keep reading on. It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. For the stone shall cry, Salakia, woe to him that buildeth a town, that's the point. Woe unto him that buildeth a town of blood and establish the city by iniquity. Now I want to go all the way back to my point. Now dealing with the 1500s, when you had Christopher Columbus and his Spaniards that went over to the Americas and slaughtered, mass slaughtered the native Indians. Okay, he didn't slaughter them by a few men, he slaughtered them by millions. And it was so bad that Christopher Colombo himself said that we haven't even put our hands down. In other words, they were just slaying people, man, left, right, hand, and center. Where's my side at, man? You know what I mean? And this is what happens, man. This town, they've established a town by blood. And you wonder why the earth is so